And I'm Natalie.
And we're your hosts of Trojan TV this week.
This month is Black History Month. Now let's get right into it.
I've been walking with my face turned to the sun. Weight on my shoulders, a bullet in my gun. Oh, I got eyes in the back of my head, just in case I have to run. I do what I can when I can, while I can for my people. While the clouds roll back and the stars fill the night, that's when I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. Can you hear freedom calling?
Get it.
Get it.
Get it. Get it.
Get it. Get it.
Is she gonna get it, Daddy?
She'll get it.
Get it. Get it.
When you bring home a Goodwill find, you give your whole town a reason to celebrate because you're also funding local job training and placement programs in tech, healthcare, and more. Goodwill. Bring good home.
What's going on, Trojans? It's Timothy here with the Electrosphere. First up, I'm going to be talking about tech news. And in tech news, we have some iPhone rumors. So, the iPhone 12, the only thing that I can tell you for sure is that it's set to come out in September of 2020. Other than that, we only have speculation. And some of the people are saying that it's going to be completely wireless, which means that there's no charger port whatsoever. So that means you're going to completely have to rely on Bluetooth headphones. As well as a 4-camera design. I'm really not too sure how that's going to work out, but we can take some looks at some ideas.
These are the top 5 iPhone 12 rumors. How do you rank rumors? Let's go from exciting to super exciting. Let's go. At number 5 is all the new iPhone 12s will use OLED screens. The iPhone 10 went with OLED after years of the technology being around. The 10s continued this trend, but kept the LCD around for the 10R. Then there's the 11 with its LCD screen as well. OLED screens are great because they can show pure blacks since the pixels can turn off. OLED also does not require a backlight, so you can use the battery for other stuff other than lighting the display. Samsung has OLEDs on every variant of the S10. That includes the E version and the light one. If Apple goes all OLED, the change would also bring all iPhones into the modern world of smartphones, at least in display tech. At number 4 is the future of the Lightning port. Way back in 2018, it was rumored that Lightning port would be killed off for the iPhone. Instead, it would be replaced by USB-C. As we all know, that did not happen. Now a report by analyst Ming-Chi Kuo says Apple could be killing off the Lightning connector in 2021 in favor of wireless charging. Now generally, Kuo has a great track record when it comes to Apple. That being said, Kuo also predicted USB-C on the iPhone X. Now USB-C did come to the iPad Pro, so it looks like Apple could be conditioning people to expect USB-C on a Pro version of the phone. And hey, the iPhone 11 introduced the iPhone 11 Pro, maybe the 12 Pro could grab onto USB-C. Either way, it looks like the future of Lightning is in doubt. It seems to hang around on for the lower end devices for Apple, so I'm sure it'll stick around, maybe on the follow-up to the iPhone SE. And number 3 is 5G. Look, I hate to say it, but when Apple adopts something, a lot of people start paying attention. You want an example? Apple puts wireless charging on its phones, and all of a sudden, Starbucks introduces wireless charging pads at its locations. Keep in mind, wireless charging had been around for a long time on certain Android phones, but it's Apple, so you get what I'm saying. Back to 5G, Apple is in an interesting position. It purchased Intel's smartphone modem business for $1 billion. The company is definitely trying to figure out how it can control every piece of hardware in the iPhone. Apple knows how important 5G is, and it's jumping to get it done. However, reports say that Apple will use Qualcomm's 5G modems for its first 5G phones, which should arrive this year. 5G was always going to be big, but when Apple puts it in the iPhone, people are going to notice. At number 2, a redesign. The iPhone has always had some pretty sleek designs. We frequently hear how it's gotten thinner, lighter, and larger screens with high pixel densities. However, it's been a pretty long time since the iPhone significantly changed its general shape. Look at the difference between the iPhone 3G and the 4. They were extremely different. I think the 4 is one of the nicest designs Apple ever put on a phone. We've been looking at variants of the iPhone 6 for an eternity now. Now back to analyst Ming-Chi Kuo, he says the 2020 iPhones will emulate the iPhone 4 in design. We're talking about a metal frame. Maybe it would look like a mini iPad Pro. That also has a very iPhone 4 design. I know that looks aren't everything in a phone, but changing things up every now and then is always a welcome change. And the most exciting rumor about the 2020 iPhones is there would not be any major price increases. This also comes from Kuo. This would be a little on the crazy side. Imagine all the iPhone 12s have a new look, OLED screens, and even 5G. Could the pricing stay the same? The iPhone 11 starts at $699. Could an upgraded one stick to that sub $700 price tag? I could see it creeping up maybe $50 to $749. That would put the 12 in the same price range as the 10R. Apple seems to have learned its lesson that charging $1,000 for an iPhone was not the best move. That's why we have this new Pro line. Regular iPhone? Well, that's under $1,000. Pro model? That starts around $1,000. I'm unsure if Apple can put together all the changes to a new iPhone and keep the prices in line with the 2019 phones. However, Apple CEO Tim Cook has always been great at the supply chain. So if anyone was going to figure out a way to maintain profits while throwing in new features, it might be him. If you guys want to know even more about what Apple is working on, definitely check out the Apple Core. It's a great show with excellent information. If you've got questions, comments, or show ideas, let me know on Twitter. I'm @Ayaz. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you online.
Next up, in gaming news, we have the long-awaited Cyberpunk. Let's take a look at the trailer real quick.
In 2077, they voted my city the worst place to live in America. Main issues, sky-high rate of violence, and more people living below the poverty line than anywhere else.
Well, that's all for me, Trojan. Now back to Trojan.
After this commercial break, we'll have Weather with Kennedy.
When you think of your mental health journey, what comes to mind?
What a question. I think when people hear, remember to take care of your mental health, they think that everyone else is, and that's not at all accurate, you know? For me, I'm trying to learn still to make sure that I stay okay, you know what I'm saying? But I just answered like 40 questions in one.
That's great.
It doesn't make you weak to ask for help. It doesn't. It doesn't make you weak to ask for a friend, to go to a therapist. It shouldn't make you feel weak to ask anyone for help. And you should be able to ask anyone for help. And everyone has to help someone if they need it. You know, starting that conversation, you don't have to make it super serious right away. You know, you say, how are you feeling? Like, are you okay? That's what you say, are you okay? Ask somebody. That's what they, you know, and yeah, I'm good. Really? You know, are you actually good? Like, sometimes you don't even have to say anything to someone for them to know they understand. And they don't have to say anything to you. Sometimes it's about a hug. It's about somebody holding you and telling you, not even telling you anything, that's what I'm saying. Holding you. The main thing I'm trying to say is that you should keep your ears open and you should listen. And I'm just dealing with it how I'm dealing with it, and I'm trying my best. Obviously, I am not a trained professional in anything. I don't know what I'm doing half the time. But I have seen it, and I've been it. And even if it's just a little bit more comfort, that can really mean a lot to someone, because you don't know what is going on. Even in that moment, there could be something going on, and it's been like that for me. There have been certain people that have texted me right when I needed to be texted, you know, saying they loved me and that they were thinking about me, and it really means a lot. If you or someone you know is struggling with mental health, you can get more information at seizetheawkward.org.
I struggle with mental health on a regular basis. I kind of got to a point where I couldn't not talk about it. My sister's been very supportive with what I've been going through, and literally just having her call every day, like having a basic conversation, listening and being compassionate. I think that that's like hopeful in those like really dark times. All of a sudden I feel normal, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm actually doing a little better today. Like, thanks for asking. I think there's a lot of stigma behind it. Some people will be like, oh, well, just decide to be happy. And it's like, that's not a thing. Like, you can't just do that. When you don't talk about it, you feel more isolated, you feel more alone. And I'm sure many of you go through those feelings. We need to talk about it, and there are people that understand and care about you. Please go to seizetheawkward.org and learn more about it.
Welcome back, Trojan's Kennedy here. Let's take a look at our weather for this week. Friday, a mainly sunny sky with a high of 43 and a low of 26. Saturday, partly cloudy skies in the morning will give way to cloudy skies during the afternoon with a high of 50 and a low of 40. Sunday, rain with a high of 48 and a low of 45. Monday, mostly cloudy skies with a high of 54 and a low of 42. Tuesday, partly cloudy skies with a high of 60 and a low of 45. Wednesday, mostly cloudy skies early, a few showers developing later in the day with a high of 54 and a low of 32. And Thursday, sunny along with a few clouds with a high of 44 and a low of 29. Alright, Trojans, that is all for our weather this week. Let's take a look at weather news. A part of Glendale Road in Hardin County will be permanently closed as crews continue to make repairs and assess the damage. The road will eventually have to be rerouted after a landslide destroyed 2 homes over the weekend. Officials said the landslide happened on Saturday. It's currently still moving slowly. Monday at 5:15 p.m., firefighters were called to 4870 Glendale Road on a reported landslide along the Tennessee River in the area known as the Chalk Bluff. 2 houses were in danger of a collapse. Only 1 house was occupied and the homeowners were safely evacuated. About an hour later, the vacant house collapsed down the steep bank. The highway department has closed the area of the road. Now that is all for our This Week Trojans. I'm Kennedy, now back to Trojan TV. Now to Matthew and Jack.
Sup, Trojans? I'm Matthew.
I'm Jackson.
This is the Black History Show.
Let's get right into it.
What's up, Trojans? I'm Milton, and I'm here with your Black History Athlete of the Week. Let's get into it. Julius Erving. 44 years ago, Julius Erving participated in the NBA's first dunk contest and won. Some other accomplishments of Julius were an NBA champion, a 2-time ABA champion, an 11-time NBA All-Star, and a 2-time All-Star Game MVP. What an amazing career. A true trailblazer. Well, that's all for me, Trojans. Back to Trojan TV Sports.
That's all for us.
See you next week.
Trojans, it's Lauren and I'm your host for entertainment this week. This week, Entertainment has put together a presentation dedicated to Black History Month. Let's get right into it.
This drummer, you're gonna send a message about drum. We're getting off to freedom.
Stop that. Before I come here, I was on another plantation. You ain't my first man. The first was when I was just a girl. One night, he run off. I helped him. He was gonna get free and then fetch me and the babies. And we all be free. But they catched him. They catched him. And they hanged him.
Who are these people?
This is the committee. The organizers and officers of the Underground Railroad, dedicated to helping slaves escape bondage. Harriet escaped from slavery herself only a year ago, and she's already gone back to liberate others. She brought back 9 souls, lost none. In recognition of her bravery and skill, we welcome her to the committee as a conductor on the railroad.
Everywhere I look, you're not where I need you to be. It's not my imagination.
To the bathroom, sir.
The bathroom. What are you doing there? We're T-minus 0 here. I put a lot of faith in you.
I have to walk to Timbuktu just to relieve myself. And I can't use one of the handy bikes. Picture that, Mr. Harrison. My uniform, skirt below my knees, my heels, and a simple string of pearls. Well, I don't own pearls. Excuse me if I have to go to the restroom a few times a day.
I'm sorry, Will.
You know what? Actually, this works out better for me. You know, the Slimmies of summer come to class wearing next to nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Will, it's all right to be angry.
Hey, why should I be mad? I'm saying, at least he said goodbye this time. I just wish I hadn't wasted my money buying this stupid present.
I'm sorry. You know, if there was something that I
Hey,
can
you know what? You ain't got to do nothing, Uncle Phil. Hey, you know, ain't like I'm still 5 years old, you know? Ain't like I'm gonna be sitting up every night asking my mom, when's Daddy coming home, you know? Who needs him? Hey, he wasn't there to teach me how to shoot my first basket, but I learned. Got through my first day without him, right? I learned how to drive. I learned how to shave. I learned how to fight without him. I had 14 great birthdays without him. You know what, Uncle Phil? I'm gonna get through college without him. I'm gonna get a great job without him. I'm gonna marry me a beautiful honey, and I'm gonna have me a whole bunch of kids. I'm gonna be a better father than he ever was. How come you don't want me, man?
It starts with a drawing like this. And then some kid dies in a drive-by, never even knowing what hit him.
You don't know nothing. You don't know the pain we feel. You don't know what we gotta do. You got no respect for how we living.
You don't feel respected. Is that what you're saying, Ava? Well, maybe you're not. But to get respect, you have to give it.
It's all about color. It's about people deciding what you deserve. About people wanting what they don't deserve.
Lady, stop acting like you're trying to understand our situation. And just do your little babysitting up there.
That's all you think this is?
It ain't nothing else. When I look out in the world, I don't see nobody that looks like me with their pockets full unless they rapping the lyric or dribbling the ball. So what else you got?
You know where I'm from. When black folks started revolutions, they never had the firepower or the resources to fight their oppressors.
It's time they know the truth about us. We're warriors. The world's gonna start over, and this time we're on top.
The sun will never set on the Wakandan Empire.
This material works well. I'm gonna use it at Goldman Sachs next year. Earn me some serious Tubmans. So bomb out.
That's all for me, Trojans. Now back to Trojan TV.
I have rights.
As a young worker, I have the right to say no to work that seems dangerous.
To report an unsafe workplace.
To be trained in working safely on the job.
To be paid fairly and take breaks.
I have the right to be given equipment that keeps me safe at work.
To a workplace free of serious hazards.
To ask for an investigation of my workplace.
And my employer cannot punish me for using my voice.
I may be young.
It may be my first day.
I could be learning a new skill.
It might even be my first job, but
all workers
have the same rights.
Hello, my name is Joshua Sheen. Today we're going to be discussing some Star Wars updates. Let's go. The first little bit of news is the Obi-Wan TV series that was supposed to drop on Disney Plus has been delayed indefinitely. It seems that this was confirmed after the cast who was in London was all sent home. The person who put the delay down was Kathleen Kennedy, the same producer who okayed a lot of the stuff for the Rise of Skywalker film. As of now, we don't know when it's coming back, or if it's going to just get canceled, or if it's ever going to come back.
Hello there.
On other news, it has been rumored that EA is going to do a Knights of the Old Republic project. We don't know if it's a reboot or a sequel yet, so jury's still up on that. If you don't know what the Knights of the Old Republic was, it's an old RPG turn-based game where you played as Revan, and he lost his memory and you kind of followed his little journey, but your decisions mattered throughout the story. Like if you decide to betray this person or work with this person, it would affect the ending you had. Next up is Star Wars The Clone Wars Season 7. Fans of the Clone Wars series would be happy to know this is coming, because back when Lucasfilm was still Lucasfilm, before Disney bought it, they had that series going, but after Disney bought it, the planned Season 7 was cancelled and they never bothered doing it. And now they are. It sees the return of Ahsoka Tano after she left the Jedi Order, and kind of goes into Revenge of the Sith story plot. Star Wars The Clone Wars Season 7 airs on Disney Plus on February 21st. That's all from me, Trojans. Now back to Trojan TV.
Every choice made
has led to this.
This is the week with Delaney.
Hey Trojans, it's Delaney.
It's Amari, and to start off with this week's fashion, I'm going to talk to you about the African-American influencer, Tyra Banks.
And after Amari gets done, I'm going to give you the latest Trojan fashion. Let's get right into it.
Tyra Banks, born on December 4th, 1973, is a fashion designer and America's next top model. Her net worth is of $90 million in 2011 research. Fashion model at the age of 15, she was the first African-American decent to be featured on the careers of GQ Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue 3 times in a row. Victoria's Secret Angel from 1997 to 2005. By early 2000s, Banks was the top earning model, and she even had her own website named Tyra.com.
to the heavens, no man, no weapon formed against, yes, glory is destined. Everyday women and men become legends. Sins that go against our skin become blessings. The movement is a rhythm to us. Freedom is like religion to us. Justice is juxtaposition in us.
Do you believe Black History Month should be celebrated?
Yes, I believe it should be celebrated because it really brings some insight onto the Black community.
How do you think it should be celebrated?
I think we could start off by having plays about Black history. We could do marches. We could do, like, public speaking about it.
So, if you were part of the civil rights movement, what would you have changed or spoke about?
Man, I don't know if I would have changed anything. Like, it would have probably been hard to change, but I probably, like, if they were peaceful, I would have been peaceful also, so I really wouldn't change anything.
Do you think Black History Month should be celebrated?
I think no, because it can't, like, what happens to all the African Americans can't be summarized in a month. It's more than just a month. It's like, you know, a year-long thing, you know what I'm saying?
Like it should be celebrated throughout the year?
Yeah, throughout the year, not just 1 month.
One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours. It will be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure. We will be sure. Oh, glory, glory, oh, glory, glory. Now the war is not over. Victory is in.
Now that's all for us.
We'll see you next week.
Happy Black History Month.